A very good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Kamalpreet Kaur Paposa. I'm working as an assistant professor in University School of Business, Chandigarh University. I welcome you to this session on HR analytics. It is a pleasure to see the audience over here to hear about HR analytics. I'm working as a faculty of HR. It has been 13 years into teaching profession, and I love to talk about various HR related aspects, various technologies which are upcoming, which are being used and integrated in the field of HR. So, Jashmeet, I think we are good to go. Right. So let's start with today's session, and I would let's keep it two-way interactive. And whenever I ask you some question, I would be looking into the comments section and will respond to your queries and your inputs. And like this, we can have a wonderful interaction today. I want to see the PPTs. So Jashmeet, are you there? Yes. So here we are going to talk about the basics of HR analytics and how we can apply HR analytics as an HR professional in our day-to-day working in the various functions of human resource management. We'll be discussing about what is HR analytics, why it is important. You should know why it is important, why we are listening to this session. You're investing time over here. So you need to know what is the importance of analytics, how we can apply it in our HR field, what are the various key HR metrics, and creating HR dashboard. We'll be learning how to create a dashboard using Excel. So, human resource management, when we say it is about human resources, are the skills, abilities, talent people bring to the organization when they join the organization and managing them. Managing human resources of the organization becomes very crucial. So, as an HR, how we can do value addition and we can give maximum satisfaction to our internal customers. Who are the internal customers? The employees working in the organization. So let's jump into this situation and imagine you are the HR director of a manufacturing company experiencing rapid growth, and the company is struggling to scale its workforce effectively, leading to increased workloads and employee burnout. It happens when the company is progressing speedingly, so the people over there start feeling overloaded. They start feeling burnout the you because of the work, extra efforts they are putting. And as an HR professional, which strategies would you implement to manage your human capital effectively during this period of rapid growth? So which strategies can be adopted? Can you answer? Yes. Yes, please answer. Which HR strategies can be adopted to manage the workforce effectively during rapid growth? How we can manage this? Yes, I can see Aman. I can see Aman Rawat. Good evening, Aman. Good evening, Ronak. So, to manage human capital during rapid growth, we need to accelerate hiring and onboarding process. We need to hire more people so that we are able to manage people effectively. Then we can ensure balanced workload and invest in employee development and well-being. We need to take care about well-being of the people. We need to implement flexible work models. And of course, we need to maintain transparent communication to retain and engage employee workforce effectively. But when we are saying this, hiring people, how many people need to be hired? when they need to be onboarded, how much time it does it take to hire and onboard people, how much the organization is investing on these activities. Then we are talking about balance workload. What is the optimum workload which need to be given to the employees? Who are those employees which are overloaded with work? We are saying about implementing flexible work models, how it can be done, what are the various ways, what is the right kind of compensation to be given. Are we maintaining the compensation as per the industry level, at par of the industry level? We are talking about engaging employees. So when we have to take decision related to all these aspects. Of course, it cannot be a guesswork, right? It need to be backed with certain kind of data, numbers. We need to talk in numbers, isn't it? And that's why we need to know how data can help during these kind of situations. So, HR analytics can play a very significant role to convert data into meaningful facts and information which can help to take right kind of decisions, isn't it? So companies can be more accurate with their decisions during this data driven approach offered by analytics, and companies will no longer need to rely on the, as I told, guessworks. It will be based on facts and figures. Now, why employees? We need to know this fact. Why employees stay in organization? What make employees work in the organization? So, what are those facts which makes employee work when they are paid well? Isn't it? Salary is important. After all, we work for money. But it is not just the salary which motivate people. Apart from it, if people are mentored well, if they are given a bright career path by the organization, if the work itself is challenging, people get motivated. They are when people are promoted, they are acknowledged, they are appreciated, they are involved in making decisions, isn't it? When the people are involved, when the employees are involved in decision making, when they have a say in the organization, and when they are being valued in the organization. Yes, Simranjeet is answering. I think employees stay when they get meaningful work, fair pay, and good working environment. Very true, Simranjeet. You have rightly said the work should be meaningful. Now, how, as an HR professional, we can contribute to these aspects? So, with the help of data driven decisions, by identifying what are the various ways through which we can make the employee engaged, we can ensure that employees are being valued and employees are satisfied at the workplace. It can be done. HR analytics can be used for the same. So, analytics is transforming data assets. We are saying data as assets. See, right, when we get up in the morning and to the night, there are so many points at which the data is being collected. Isn't it? We answer on the various messages at our mobile phones. When we enter the company, we have to do biometrics. Then we have to enter then we log in into our system. The whole activities we do entire day is being recorded, and some kind of data is being generated. So data is being said as the currency, isn't it? It is being said as an asset because with the help of data, we can derive meaningful information, and that can be done through analytics. So, analytics is multidisciplinary. It is we here in this session we are focusing on HR analytics. That's true, but of course there are other fields of analytics like web analytics, business analytics, security analytics, of course people analytics we are talking about, cloud analytics, text analytics, and many more. And all these are being used for data-based decision making. So that's why HR analytics can help us to answer various questions. And what are those? What has happened? Why did it happen? What will happen? What will happen means we're talking about future. And what should happen? What we should do in such situations. So in, data is uh, data can be used for making decisions related to what we want to do in future, which steps we need to take in future so that we get the desired results, what we expect. When we go to astrologist, I hope some of you believe on astrology. So when you go to astrologist, you ask about your future, isn't it? But how can you make sure that what that person is telling is correct about your future? How it is possible? Can you answer? How it is possible that you can verify that what the person is saying is going to exactly happen in your future? How it is possible? You start asking about your past, and if that is correct, then definitely, to some extent, what the person is saying about your future can happen. So, you know, when you go to such people, they ask you about, they try to understand you about you. And then, on the basis of your current situations, your past situations, your future is determined somehow, isn't it? So, similarly, same way analytics work. We try to understand what has happened in the past, and that is known as descriptive analytics. Why did it happen? We try to diagnose the issues, so that is diagnostic analytics. Then we try to predict what will happen in the future, and then we take necessary step that if we want the way we are desiring, then we take the necessary step for it, and that is what is prescriptive analytics. So these are the four levels of HR analytics. It starts from descriptive, and then it is about prescriptive analytics, isn't it? It is more about optimizing so that the system itself is able to suggest us what has to be done in order to achieve the desired results. So suppose in case a company is trying to look into that, the number of people who are leaving the organization, the number of employees who are leaving the organization is increasing day by day, isn't it? Now, how this problem can be solved? So what the company can do is the company can look into the past data set. What is the attrition rate in the last 5 years? What are those reasons why that attrition rate has been increasing? So diagnosing the situation. You try to describe, you try to diagnose, and then we can predict that if into the past 5 years it has been seen that the attrition rate is increasing by 2% every year, so we can predict that maybe by next year it can increase by 2% or 3%. But now we need to avoid this, and for that we can use prescriptive analysis. Necessary steps need to be taken in order to reduce the attrition rate, isn't it? The same happens when we go to doctor try to understand a situation, how we are feeling, what has happened to us, and then prescribes us medicine, isn't it? So it goes with HR analytics in the same way. So that's why it this is how the HR analytics has evolved from descriptive, from understanding the anecdotes, story, understanding how people feel working in the organization, diagnosing the issues, and making predictions and prescribing necessary solutions. So it starts with describing the situation, the anecdotes. There is one of the IT company. What that IT company has done, mm, the CHRO, the Chief Human Resource Officer, conducted an exercise of 2 to 3 months. Like if an employee, every morning when the employee entered, login into the system, that employee was asked, each and every employee was asked how they are feeling today. So they used to answer, they are feeling good, they are feeling bored, or they are feeling overloaded with work. So after collecting data set of nearly 2 to 3 months, the organization understood the happiness level of the people, the mental health of the people, the problems, the issues. So this is how, with the help of data mining, with the help of trying to understand the relationships between data, the trends in the data set, um, deriving certain meaningful information about from the huge data set, the organization take necessary decisions in order to ensure that the employees are being valued. So here goes the definition of HR analytics. It is HR analytics is also known as human capital analytics. Okay, it is application of statistical tools to analyze data about employee function in an organization to draw insights and inferences on how to deploy and maximize the productivity of manpower and resolve HR related challenges. So here, earlier HR department was taken as just an administrative function, a record keeping function. But later or sooner, it from personal management it was given the name as human resource management, wherein the people are being valued, they motivated, where the organization take care about employee satisfaction. And then later on, as the year passed, it was realized that HR department is not just a function of record keeping, but can play a role of a strategic partner. And therefore there comes a role of strategic human resource management, wherein HR function has become a strategic partner, contributing towards the organization vision and mission. And in order to do this, HR analytics is playing a huge role, wherein HR department is acting as a function which helps to contribute, which helps to calculate the return on investment on what? On human resources of the organization. So that's why HR analytics is highly important. It improves decision making. It reduces talent scarcity. As we come to know what are the reasons why employees are leaving the organization, isn't it? It helps to make employees feel valued and they have a better experience. It improves the hiring process. It improves training practices. It leads to better employee insights. It reduces attrition rate. When the employee feel valued, they have a better experience, the happiness level is good in the organization, definitely it will help in retaining them. And because these are all the factors which make an employee work in the organization, and when these factors are taken care, then definitely it can help to retain the employees, because it is not a person who is leaving the organization. That person is carrying the experience, the learnings of the organization to the competitors. And therefore, if the employees are valued and retained, then definitely it helps, it contribute towards the vision, towards the progress of the organization. So, to sum up, HR analytics measure the success and failure of how well the company is performing when it comes to the employee. I'm saying about success and failures of how well the company is performing in terms of employees, isn't it? The internal customers. Now, imagine that you are an HR manager of the company, and you're being said that this is a cost function. The HR department is incurring huge costs in hiring people, in giving them compensation, giving them training. So as a leader, how you will evaluate, and you can say that yes, my department is investing on people, which is leading to huge profits. How it is possible? How can you do it? Yes, can anybody answer? How can you say that the various functions which are being carried out in the HR department is contributing towards the organization productivity, towards the organization efficiency, contributing to the organizational profit? How can you do it? So it is possible, my dear students. It is possible. Yes, anybody will love to answer this? Simranjeet, can you answer? How we can ensure that how we can show the contribution of HR to the overall growth of the organization. Okay, Ronak has said improving quality of work. Good attempt. Yes, Rupesh. Any other answer? When we keep HR analytics in mind, it is about we need to understand this fact that what get measured get managed. Now, suppose you write an exam, you need to know, na? You need to know how many marks you scored. Unless and until you are being evaluated, you are being told that what is your total marks in that particular course, you cannot understand how well you performed, isn't it? It is necessary to measure your performance. So, similarly, it is necessary to measure and manage. And that's why there comes the role of HR metrics. So HR metrics is a very important aspect which we need to understand if we want to apply HR analytics. Okay, there are wonderful answers. I can see hiring top talent, productivity per employee, revenue generated per employee. Very good, Ronak. Yes, this is what we need to express in numbers, that what is the productivity per employee? How much revenue? We are saying that we are investing on people. We are giving them salary. We are giving them compensation. We are incurring huge training costs. We are incurring costs at a time of recruitment of people. We need to know that how much revenue per employee we are generating, and that can be done with the help of various kind of metrics. This is one metrics which you said, Ronak, very well, very true. And there are other HR metrics also. So metrics turn the art. We say managing human resource is an art, but we can make it an art and a science also. How come science? By enabling organization to make data-driven decisions that drive performance and growth. We can apply various kind of statistical techniques. We can apply various kind of tests, various kind of statistical measures, and with the help of those, we can help to understand how HR department is contributing to the overall productivity and profitability, how HR department has become a strategic partner of the organization, how HR department is going hand in hand and having a say in the financial decisions. So quantifiable measures used by HR department are what can we say as metrics, and that is what is tracking performance and productivity. Yes, by using principles, definitely by using principles, we can apply arts and science in managing of human resources. Isn't it? Are we going good? Are we tuned? Yes. So let's move on to the next step. Yes. Now, what are the various major HR functions? Yes, please answer, dear students. The major HR functions, it's visible here also. It is recruitment and selection, training and development, performance management, then compensation and employee relations. And in case if these functions are being we are trying to maintain data set related to these functions, isn't it, in terms of different metrics, then definitely it can help us to document that how as an HR department we are contributing towards the overall growth and progress of the organization. And saying that yes, HR department is a strategic partner. So there are various kind of metrics: recruitment metrics, employee engagement metrics, learning and development metrics, retention metrics, performance metrics, compensation and benefit metrics. Metrics basically, what are those formulas through which we can express that how well an HR department is functioning in terms of numbers. So we'll be talking about the functioning of an HR department, and of course how employees are functioning, how well the employees are performing. So it is about the performance of HR department on one side and the performance of the employee. So if I'll say that HR department is performing well in the organization, it means that HR department is able to hire the right kind of talent. It is able to reduce cost of hiring, is able to give better training to the employees, which is contributing to improving the quality of services, leading to better customer satisfaction, isn't it? So that's why we need to keep a track on these metrics. Okay, so Simranjeet is saying that one more metrics in IT sector is the ratio of number of new joinees joined to number of offers rolled out. Exactly, and it is related to recruitment metrics. It comes under recruitment metrics, right, Simranjeet? So let's see this at a glance, at a stretch, these various metrics. First is recruitment metrics, which you well said, Simran, that how many other new joinees. See, if the number of new joinees are increasing, there can be two reasons. One is attrition rate is high, we're not able to retain people and we need to hire new people. Or another can be organization is expanding, organization is progressing, because of which we are hiring more and more talent. Okay, so we need to understand, that is what I'm saying, identifying, evaluating. Okay, that is important. So, time to hire, the average number of days taken to fill a vacant position. When the position was circulated, okay, and JD was shared, and the day the vacancy was filled. So, what was the time to hire? Cost per hire. When a company comes to your campus to hire you all, definitely they'll try to calculate the cost per hire. They might have spent 20,000 coming to your campus and recruited, suppose, 10 students. So what is cost per hire? 2,000 per candidate, isn't it? So that is cost per hire. Quality of hire, that is important. The performance and longevity of new hires as compared to existing employees, how well they are performing. So there are certain employees who are performing very well, who act as benchmarks, and therefore we need to benchmark their performance with the new joinees. Somewhere to know the quality of hire. What are the sources of hire? Which source help us to hire better people, or which source help us to get more applicants, and we have selected the best out of it, right? So these are few metrics. There can be other metrics like employee engagement metrics. Example, employee satisfaction score. So we can prepare a questionnaire related to employee satisfaction. We can circulate among the employees, and then we can just try to understand what is the average score. How, what is the average score? How much satisfied the employees are? Then employee turnover rate. Here we calculate the percentage of employees who left the organization during a period. So it can be done like number of employees, average number is a number of employees who left divided by average number of employees during a particular period. What is the average number of employees? Total employees at the start. Suppose there were 100 employees at the start of a particular period, and at the end there were 80 employees. So 100 plus 80 divided by 2, we get the average number of employees. And then suppose 20 employees left. So my formula will be 20 divided by 100 plus 80 upon 2 into 100. So these are the various ways we can identify formulas, and we can calculate the value of different metrics. Employee need net promoter score. Now, what is this? It measures employee loyalty by asking how likely they are to recommend the organization as a place to work. So, from 1 to 10, I'll ask you that how likely you'll recommend. People who say 7, who say 8, who say 9, yes, they will likely to recommend. So, like this, I can calculate the percentage, the rate of employee net promoter score, because that will depict my employer as a brand. I will come to know how well I am being recognized as an employer to work, isn't it? Next is learning and development metrics, that includes training cost per employee, total cost spent on training divided by number of employees trained. Very simple, isn't it? Very simple formulas, but very useful in making decisions, isn't it? Training effectiveness, it measures the impact of training. Organizations spend huge employ amount on training the employees. We need to know what is the impact, how many people joined the course and how many people completed. We joined several courses, but in between sometime people leave it. So how many people completed a particular course, what were the learnings, are they satisfied with with the course content, with the person who delivered that course. And this helps the organization to plan the future training programs. We need to know the learning transfer rate, percentage of knowledge or skill gained from a training that is applied. Suppose you attend this session, then you start applying your skills. You try to know more about HR analytics. You want some additional information on this. You dig upon it. You try to upgrade yourself. Means you have implemented what you have learned, isn't it? Retention metrics, voluntary versus involuntary turnover. Okay, this we have covered, isn't it? Okay, under retention metrics, yeah. Okay, that one was recruitment, another is retention. What is better? Recruitment is better or retention is better? Definitely, we should retain our employees, and of course, recruitment is to be done when the organization expands, but we should always try to retain our best talent. So, what is voluntary versus involuntary turnover? Voluntary means people leave the organization because of their own personal reasons. They get a better job opportunity or some personal issues, isn't it? Involuntary means when the people are asked to leave. So we need to understand the turnover rate. We need to understand the retention rate, the percentage of employees who remain within the organization over a specific period, isn't it? So out of 100, we are able to retain 80 employees, isn't it? So my retention rate is 80%. Cost of turnover, the total cost associated with replacing an employee, how much it costed an organization, which including recruitment, training, induction, the cost of productivity, isn't it? So all this we try to express in the form of numbers by identifying various formulas, isn't it, to calculate these metrics. When we talk about performance metrics, it covers work quality metrics, quantity metrics, efficiency metrics, organizational overall performance metrics like number of sales, number of potential client contracts, number of phone calls, company visits, active leads, units produced. So there are various ways through which we can calculate the performance of the employees. So Saurabh is asking me that, ma'am, does improper working condition come under voluntary turnover? That can be one reason if employees are leaving, and this is the reason why we need to keep a track of why people are leaving my organization. That's why organization conduct exit interviews to understand what is that reason, what is that aspect which is making an employee leave. And this is the reason exit interviews are conducted. Right, Saurabh? Fine. Okay, so metrics also include compensation and benefit metrics, compensation ratio, comparison of an employee pay to the market rate or internal benchmarking. We need to maintain internal pay equity, external pay equity. We need to ensure that whatever pay we are giving for a particular position, it need to be at par with what is industry paying. Otherwise, definitely we'll lose the employee to our competitors. And that's why we need to maintain a track of the compensation ratio, the benefit utilization rate, the percentage of employees who remain with the organization over a specific period, and ROI, that is return on investments. It measures the financial return of benefits compared to their cost. If a company is paying you certain amount of salary, then definitely company will keep a track that how well you are contributing in terms of outcomes, financial outcomes sometimes, isn't it? Many times, in fact, most of the times. So what get measured, we are discussing that what gets measured get managed, isn't it? And once we have these metrics ready with us, we have gauged the data related to each and every metrics. Now the next part is how well we are able to understand this data set. We are able to understand the logics, draw certain meaningful interpretations out of it. And that's why what get visualized gets streamlined and optimized for success. And therefore, dear students, there come the role of, so how it is possible? I'm saying it is possible with the help of dashboards. I told you about descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, isn't it? So, in order to describe what has happened and why a certain thing has happened, why people are leaving in the organization, why, how we can retain the employees, how we can make training programs more effective. So, for that, to understand, we can prepare various charts and graphs, because visualization leads to better decision making. We can understand the correlations between different aspects, that if the absenteeism rate is increasing, suppose, so what is the reason? Is it in a particular department the absenteeism rate has increased? Is it because of a certain working conditions the absenteeism rate has increased? Is the mental health of the employees okay over there? Is the well-being taken care in that department? So there can be n number of reasons, isn't it? So as an a- as the as maybe an HR professional, I can keep a track of every day what is the absenteeism rate of each and every department. I can just understand, is there a particular department where the absenteeism rate is high, and what is the reason, isn't it? So thus HR dashboard can play important role in decision making. Now we are moving to the next part. In the first part of this session, we try to understand what is HR analytics and what are the four aspects. What are the four aspects? Descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive. Then we move to the next phase of a session where we discussed about different HR metrics, right? So the HR metrics, I have discussed few examples. There can be n number of metrics which an HR professional, the HR department can define related to the major HR functions. And then we are moving to the next phase of this session, that is how we can represent these metrics with the help of dashboard. So there are various tools available. Power BI is there, Tableau is there, of course, Excel is there. So as a learner, we can start up with the Excel and we can move on to the advanced tools like Power BI and Tableau. So in this session, I'll be telling you how, with the help of Excel, we can create a wonderful dashboard which can help us to visualize different metrics and take better decisions. So Saurabh is asking me one question, that ma'am, does, okay, I answered this, Saurabh, to you. Like, working conditions can definitely lead to turnover, can lead to absenteeism, and need to be taken care. So let's move on to the third phase. I will share my screen, and dear students, let me know that are you able to see this Excel sheet. So what you can do is, for now, you just see which steps I am performing to create the dashboard, right? And later on, I'll share this. Those who fill the feedback form, definitely we'll try to reach them. We'll share this Excel file, and you can practice, or you can create your own data set and practice. You can look into the recording and repeat the steps. So first, you need to understand how it is done. Then you can repeat and hone your skills on creating dashboards. So let's move on to the Excel sheet. I will share my, one second, my Excel file over here. Are you ready for it, everyone? Please answer. Yes, you're ready to learn how to create a dashboard using Excel, dear students? Yes, Supreet. So stay tuned, and we'll be moving on to the next phase. I'm sharing my Excel file. Yes, Monica. Okay, I think it's not possible to share the file. What I'll do, I'll share my screen over here. I'll open that Excel file. It's this one. One second. One second. It is not being shared. So let me know, are you able to see my Excel file? Are you able to see this Excel file? Please answer. Monica Negi, are you able to see my Excel file? Jagmeet, can you please tell me? Jashmeet, sorry. Can you please tell me, are you able to see this Excel sheet so that we can proceed with the next step? Okay, so Monica is answering me that she's able to see my Excel sheet. Very well, Monica. So here we can see a data set. It's of a year from month to December, and monthly data is related to the absence rate, the absence cost, the benefit satisfaction, the productivity rate, satisfaction index, engagement index, internal promotion rate in terms of percentage. It is about net promoter score, that how whether an employee will um, ask the its peers to join the organization, isn't it? So net promoter score from 1 to 10 a person has to rate. So that is what is net promoter score. Quality of hire, then it is about turnover rate, 90-day quit rate. When a new joinee is there, a person takes time to get comfortable with the organization culture, and sometimes they're not able to gel up with the culture, and that's why they leave. So 90-day quit rate, what is it? Training effectiveness, acceptance ratio, male and female count, total count. So suppose these are the metrics available with us. We have gauged the data, and now the way we want to create a dashboard out of this. So how it can be done with the help of Excel. I'll be also telling you by the end of this session that how we can identify the different metrics, how we can use the AI tools to identify different metrics related to the various functions. For now, you just try to understand how the dashboard is created. So I'll add a new sheet. I'll name it as HR dashboard over here. Now I'll move to the monthly data set. I will select the first column, that is the absence rate and the months. So after selecting this, what is the next step? Come on, please tell. We'll go to insert, and the most wonderful thing is recommended charts. You don't have to spend much efforts on this, isn't it? So I can select this graph, and then okay, we'll click on it, and here is the absence rate available. I can select the most preferred one, which looks better. Let's see. No, this is also good. I can see the values even, isn't it? So I'll take this. What I'll do, I'll take this graph, I'll cut it, Control X, and I'll paste it here in the dashboard. We'll create a neat and clean dashboard over here, right? So data table if you want to add, otherwise it's not required. Legends, grid lines are there. Data labels are already there, isn't it? Trend line, So in this way, you have added this graph. Excel is not visible, right? I have been, okay, let me see. Jashmeet, please help me with this. Excel is not visible. He's saying it to me. So I will share my screen once again. I'll stop sharing. Jashmeet, please help me out with this. I'll share the screen again. 1 second. Share screen. Share. Is my Excel file visible? Please answer. Because when I share my screen and I work on my Excel file, so I'll not be able to look into the live stream. So now Jashan is saying that it's visible. Okay, visible. Can we move on to the next step? Good to go. Okay, Saurav, I'm so sorry that the sheet was not visible to you. I hope now it is visible. I will again repeat the steps. Okay, students? Yes. So what I have done is I'll just delete this and I'll repeat the steps for y'all. I am happy that at least my students are responding, and it's always a motivation to the teacher. So yes, I'll keep a check on that whatever I am doing here, performing here on this Excel is visible to you. So what we'll do, see, this is the data set with us, the monthly data set, which include months, absence rate, absence cost, benefit satisfaction, productivity rate, satisfaction index, engagement index, and at the last, there is head count, male and female, and total head count. Month wise data set is available with us, and how this data is collected with the help of different metrics, isn't it? Now I have to, so one fine day, suppose I have to present this to the higher authorities of my organization to show how well the HR department is functioning, isn't it? So how I can create a dashboard through this Excel. So I'll add a new sheet and I'll name this as HR dashboard. Now I'll go to my monthly data set and I'll select here months and absence rate. I want to present the monthly absence rate. So I selected this, and next is I'll go to insert. I'll go for recommended chart. Most very easily it can be done, and then click on OK. And see, a wonderful chart appears over here. We can add certain data labels also, isn't it? Month wise, we can see what is the absenteeism rate. Is it where, in which particular month it was the least? Let's see. It was in the month of May. It was the lowest. Okay. So this is how the chart is, this particular chart is added. Now, let's move on to the next one. Suppose absence cost, how much it costed to the organization after people have remained absent. So I'll select this, see, control plus this. 1 second, press control and select this. And then you select the absence cost, the two columns. After selecting the two columns, again, we'll go to date, we'll go to insert, we'll go to recommended chart. I think there is some problem. 1 second. Yes. Now it's mine. After selecting recommended charts, there are no recommendations available. Okay. If it's not showing, yeah, now it has appeared. Now I can select whichever chart I like. Suppose I want this one. Then I'll click on OK. And here the charts, this chart is appearing. I can select in this way, suppose the absence cost, whichever I feel is good to look upon. I feel this one is better one. I can give a chart title also, that is absence cost, and just take it and paste it over here on your dashboard. Don't know why it is not functioning. Yes, here it has come. Absence cost. Okay, and suppose I feel that I want some other way out of this. So even I can change the design if in case I want it. Okay, so there are various options available here. You can use to change the way you want. Now the next, moving on to the next data set. Months I'm selecting benefit satisfaction. So here I go. Months and benefit satisfaction, and again we'll go to insert and recommended charts. Suppose I select this chart, and here I can see it with the data labels. I have to just cut this, Control X, and I'll take it to the dashboard over here. So here comes the next data. Second, next chart representing our data set of benefit satisfaction. I'll just look into the live stream. There, are you there with me? Going good? Okay. Then are you able to see the dashboard or not? Let me check it out. Yes, it is available. It is visible, pretty visible, right? Now moving on to the next. After benefit satisfaction, I want to know the male and female count. So what I'll do, again, I'll select in months, and then I'll go to the male and female count. And again, we can go to insert. Yes, repeat the steps. Recommended chart. Oh God, it's not recommending me. Let me see what's the issue. I find this very easy. Let me go to the insert tab. Yes, here it is visible. The male and the female count. Year wise, isn't it? From January to December. I want to add certain data labels to it. So I can add the data labels. Suppose I added this data label, Control X, and I'll take it where? To my dashboard. You can make this as beautiful as you want. And then you can create stories around and explain it. Now, suppose, okay, I'll just, yes, I'm able to see this in terms of percentage for all the months. Suppose what I want to do is, I want to see it for a specific month. Like for January, what is the absence rate? What is the absence cost? For the month of January, what is the benefit satisfaction? And in the month of January, how many male and female employees are there? So how I can go for this? So the best thing is, we can go to, this is important step. Please listen. So we will select the entire data set, and then we'll go to insert option. In the insert option, first we have selected the recommended chart. Now I'll select the slicer. So after selecting the slicer, I'll select the month and I'll click on OK. Okay. So I'll take this and paste it over here. I'll paste the slicer over here. So when I click on this, see, I can look into the absence rate is 20% for the month of January. The absence cost is 1,530. This is way benefit satisfaction is 56%. The male count is 25, female count is 17, isn't it? For the month of February, when you click it, it changes. So this is how you can make it more dynamic by using slicer option. Therefore I like this option very much. You can reduce the size, and this is the way it works. If you click on this, and the entire chart is for all the months, the data set is visible. Now when you look into the male and female count, it's pretty visible that the number of males are more as compared to females. So organization can take necessary steps to ensure that diversity is maintained, and next time when they sit for recruiting, they will focus on trying to recruit more of female candidates, right? So thus these kind of dashboards can help making visualization easier and making data driven decision. There is one more thing, that is pivot table option. I'll just tell you that also, how we can add that pivot table option, how we can use again into creating an interactive dashboard. So select your data set. Till here, I hope it's clear to everyone. Yes, it's clear. Okay, that's great. Now what we'll do, we'll go to this and we'll go to insert option and we'll select pivot table option. Okay, I click on this and we can select numerous kind of headers. Like absence rate, I selected the engagement index, then I selected, suppose, the turnover rate, then I selected the head count. Okay, I'll select only these for while. Now what I'll do, I'll take these indicators, I'll to control X, and I will paste on my dashboard. So let's see. What I can see is sum of absence rate. Does it make sense? The total absence rate? No. So click on this and click on average. So I can see what is the average absence rate in the entire. It is 10%. I can see what is the absence rate of the entire organization. It's 10% this year. What was it last year? Has it improved? Are we able to decrease the absenteeism ratio? Now some of the head count, total head count, I can see it here as 428. Again, it is incorrect. sum of head count, isn't it? Because here we are talking about month wise. I can see what was the maximum head count, average head count. That will make more sense, isn't it? 36. Turnover rate. Again, here average will more matter to us. Average, I'll select. See, average of turnover rate. Sum of engagement index. I'll select. What was the, I want to know what was the maximum engagement index. It is 87%. That's a nice thing. Can I see the average? Average comes to 49. Oh, it's the time to worry that the engagement index, average engagement index is 49%. Organization need to take necessary steps to improve the engagement rate. Isn't it? Employee engagement rate is important. If people should feel valued and they should feel the work is meaningful. So, like this, by creating interactive dashboards, it can help us to take wonderful decisions contributing to the overall organizational productivity and efficiency. You can just remove this sheet, it's no more required. And if you want to add some more indicators to this, you just click on the show field list and you can add any additional indicator you want. Suppose internal promotion rate. I want to know internally how many people are being promoted. So see, is it added? Let's see. One second. Yes, sum of the internal promotion rate. I will select, suppose, the average of it or the count. How many people? No. Here, as it is in percentage, so we'll select the average. So, one second. Okay, just remove this. This is not required. It has given me the details. I'll click on this. Again, this. Yes, average. So I wanted average internal promotion rate. So this is how you can identify some values and you can work upon to improve the various metrics and measures, isn't it? Now, suppose another thing. I'll just delete this sheet, it's not required. Monthly data set is there. Okay. Now, suppose I change it here to 10. So, does it change over here? Yes, it is changing on my chart and graph. But suppose I select average absence rate over here to minimum. Okay. Now, what is the minimum absence rate? 3%. Isn't it? I am saying I'm changing this to 2%. I want to see it's appearing on my dashboard or not. It's changing in my charts and graphs, but it's not changing over here in the pivot table. Now, what to do? What is the solution? You can just go to data and you can click on the refresh all options. And this is how you can change the absence rate. Or, there are various macros available. You can do coding, you can add buttons over here to make it more dynamic. So, in order to beautify this, you can remove the grid lines, see how well it appears. And while you're presenting this to your group, to your department, you can just auto hide ribbons. And this is the way you can present your dashboard, adding more graphs and charts to it. I have added some few to it, but you can add more to it if you want to make it again more wonderful, more beautiful, so that people understand it better. You can add certain images also. So suppose I want to add this image, I'll just show you once. I'll select one image which I have saved about the male and female count image of demographics, and I will paste on my Excel file. One second, it's not appearing. Just copy it. One second, I'm trying to copy the image. Copy and paste. Paste it here. And just reduce the size, image size. I can take this somewhere here. If I want, I can paste it here. Yes, we can beautify as much as we want. This is looking better. Let me see what it is visible, how it is visible to you. Yes, it is visible. Right now, what I'm doing is, so I want to show the male and female count over here. So I added an image and I'll go to equal over here, equal to, suppose, a sum I want to show, equal to sum. If I want to show the average, I'll write it average over here. I think average will make more sense instead of sum. Right. So average number of males. So this value is appearing as average number of males. What I'll do, see, this is exceeding. I can just wrap text and make this more meaningful. One second. Now that's fine. Now it's going good. So this is average number of males. Similarly, I can add it for average number of females. What I have done, equal to average female head count, right? I can go here and I can select the female head count. And here comes the number. It is coming as, I can just change it to remove the decimals. So this is how you can make wonderful dashboards with the help of charts and graph option, with the help of pivot table option, by using slicer, by adding some wonderful colorful images, and thus you can create dashboard. Now the thing is, I hope you understood how to create dashboard using Excel, right? The thing is, from where you can get this formulas, how you can go for it, you can use AI tool, as I said. So let me know whether my screen is visible. I have clicked on my browser and I'm clicking on this chat GPT option. Is it visible? Please let me. One second, let me move on to the live stream and check it out. So okay, I'm pretty doubtful. What I'll do, I'll stop sharing and I will again share my screen. Present. One second. I'll share this chat GPT tab. So what I'll write on this, I want to identify what are the various metrics. I'm working as an HR professional in the pharmaceutical companies, and I want to know what are the various metrics I can use in the to represent how HR department is functioning in terms of different major functions, that is recruitment and selection, training and development, performance management, compensation and benefits. I want to know different metrics and the formulas. So I can just give a prompt, type a prompt over here that I am an HR professional working in a pharmaceutical company suggest me the key HR matrix to represent the functioning of HR department. Let me see, are you able to view this on my live stream or not? Yes, it's visible. Now, when I click on this, let's see what does it answers me, how I can use AI tools effectively. So it has shown me the various kind of measures, matrix I can use which represent the functioning of different departments, like time to fill, average time taken to fill. I'll just prompt that I need formulas also along with this. So let's see. Now see, I hope it's visible to you. Time to fill, total days to fill, all position upon number of positions filled, cost per hire, total recruitment cost upon number of hires, offer acceptance rate, number of offers accepted upon number of offers made in 200, quality of hire, new hire performance score plus retention rate plus hiring manager satisfaction, isn't it? So you can exactly use these formulas, or you can just make changes after discussing with your peers in the department, with other executives, and finalize the different metrics, the various KPIs, document it, and gauge data related to it, and later use it for making decisions, right? So see, for every function, we have got different type of prompts, different types of formulas, and various metrics. And this is how we can finalize the different metrics connection was lost. Yes. So this is the way you can identify different type of metrics related to the key HR function and create wonderful dashboards for making better decisions and creating better employee experience, making your employees, making your internal customers feeling valued. So this is the end of the session, and I hope this session has added a little value and knowledge, and I hope you will try to learn more about it and implement this. In case if you are a working HR professional, you will implement it in your day-to-day working. Thank you so much. It was a very delighting session. I enjoyed, and I love the way people were querying and answering to what I was asking during the session. So I felt it as if I felt it as an interactive session wherein it was it was very wonderfully well answered by all. Participation was there, and thus I was able to complete the entire session with your efforts, with your participation. So thank you. Let's see next time. We'll definitely meet again with some learning some new aspects related to analytics. Thank you so much. Thanks to this to Lemicons for inviting me and sharing my ideas, sharing my knowledge related to HR analytics. Thank you so much, Lemicons. Can we end up the session?